everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den, and how are we doing? We're at the first week of December and there's only three projects for this month. So that's the 3 Sundays before Christmas, and then we're having a break and we're coming back on the, I'm not sure what the date is now and I haven't got my calendar here, so I will put it in with the tutorial telling you down below when I'll be back, and I will remind you again each week. Okay, so this week we're going to do this card, which is called an inside flip card. So when you open it up, it flips like this in the middle, like this. Woo, isn't that cute? So, and it stands like that so that you can see the flips from either side. So whether you're looking from the left or the right hand side, you'll be able to see those flips. Now, I did this card for my colour creation back in October, and then I haven't done any for the month or so that I've been recuperating from my knee replacement. So I'm going to do this card, but I'm going to do it in Christmas, as a Christmas card, because I thought I would do this one for my mum and dad for their Christmas card. Also, I'm using everything that is retired except for the card stock and the inks, obviously. So let me show you what we're going to be using, and this is called a inside flip card. So let's pop that on one side, and I'm going to use the poinsettia petals, and I'm going to use these here, that berry thing here, sprig and the berries that go on it, and May Magic and Wonder Bloom This Holiday and Merry Christmas. And then I'm also going to be using, if I can open that box, these large dies here to make a poinsettia for the front, plus the holly leaf and a piece for the middle. So that's what I'm going to be using, and I'm going to be stamping in cherry cobbler and garden green. Sorry, that was upside down, garden green. So let me show you what else we need. I've actually got a lot of it all prepared here. I haven't stuck this together yet, so, and there's my leaves. I did them in a beautiful glitter paper. So that's my poinsettia, but this is what we need for the card. Okay, so we need a card base that measures 11 3/4 by 5 7/8. And then for the front of the card, I'm going to need a panel that measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and then my DSP layer, which is this beautiful brushed vellum that I'm going to put over the top of that, and that measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. So that's my outside. For my insert, you're going to need 2, because you're going to put one at either side like this, and they both measure 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and 2 white panels that we can stamp on that are going to measure 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. For my flips, you'll need 3 pieces of card that measure 3 7/8 by 1 7/8. Now, if you cut this is an A4 sheet, if you cut that piece off there, you will get those 3 out of that piece there. You'll have got this smidgely little piece on the end. So that's how he comes. Then you'll need 3 pieces for our layer that measure, let me see, can't read it from there, 3 5/8 by 1 5/8, and then 3 pieces of DSP, which I'm using the same DSP as I did for the front of the card, that measure 3 3/8 by 1 3/8. So that's all our bits. This piece here is for our tag for the front, and this measures 3 1/2 by 1 inch, and this piece measures 3 1/4 by 3/4 of an inch. Now, I forgot to bring my punch over to do the flagging on that, so I'm going to turn you off and I'm coming back. Whoops, where's my punch? Okay, back again, and I'm using this is the banners punch, and I'm going to use this flag end one because that has 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch size, so I can do those when I'm ready. Alright, so let's pop these out of the way, because the only bit of scoring we're going to do is on this piece here. And we're going to bring in our scoreboard. I'm going to score this piece at 4 1/8 using the small end, 5 7/8, and now I'm going to turn it all the way around because I'm not 100% sure on that one. So that's 5 7/8, and measure at 4 1/8 again. So it's 4 1/8, 5 7/8, and 7 1/2. What did I put on my list here? Oh dearie me, 7 5/8. So here's my piece of card. Would you believe my piece of card here is longer? It is, no it's not, it's the right length. So 4 1/8, 5 7/8, turn it around, and 4 1/8. That way you know, so, and that's 7 1/2. So I'm just going to mark this on here because I haven't written my tutorial completely yet, and I thought it would be that, so it's 7 1/2. That way when I rewrite it to make sure I've got it all done, we know we're all clear. Okay, so we're going to fold this card like so. This one is going to be belly fold. The next fold is going to be a mountain fold. And then the last one is going to be a belly fold. Once we've done that, we should have a card that measures our regular size card, which is our 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. So that's our card, and that's what it looks like. So we're going to pop our front panels on to the front of the card like so. So we're going to stick this piece down. Now I've got to check my glue because I came in here the other day and realised I'd left the lid off my glue. Would you believe that? Ooh, whoosh. So happy. I think I'm so happy. It's not coming out real good, so let's pop the pin in here and see if I can get it moving. And it doesn't want to go all the way down, this pin. So let's see. There we go. We've got glue. It's because I bent my pin. And I'm really good at bending pins lately. There we go. Pop that in there for now. I'm going to pop this on here. And okay, you can see the glue there for a minute, but once it dries you will not see this. And pop that on there. And if you've got a pattern that's correct, you know, like a certain way, make sure you pop it on the correct way. So I'm going to pop this one onto the front. This pin is going to annoy me now. See if I can pop it in there and bend it back a bit. There we go. I think I've bent it back a bit more. Oh yes, there we go. It went down. Okay, so we're going to pop this onto the front of the card like so. So while that front is drying, we will work on the outside of the card. Don't worry about those because you won't see them because you've got your poinsettia to go on there. If you prefer, you can always pop a bit more glue on so it's even. Alright, so let's pop that out of the way. We're going to bring in our two middle panels. And I'm going to stamp both of these now. So I'm going to do my stamping in the green first, because I want to stamp this lovely thing here. I'm going to use my draft copy of my tutorial just for my scrap bit of paper, and I'm going to put it on there. And there, and I'm going to turn this around and do the same again. One there, and one there. So that's going to be my left hand side. My right hand side, I'm just going to put them in the bottom because I want to put my words up above it. Okay, so that's my green done. Let's move that one out of the way. Bring in the real cherry cobbler. The real cherry cobbler. Gosh, I do have trouble with some of these sometimes. Now I've got to work out which way around this goes. I'm not 100% sure. Let me work it out. That goes that way. So I'm going to lean over this a bit and I'll put my red berries into the middle of that. Yep. So get that in the correct place. It's not supposed to line up 100%. If you don't get it right 100%, that's fine, because it's, the berries are, I don't know, a little bit off. I've never been able to line them up 100%. Oh, that one almost 100%. So, oh, I'm getting better as I get older. Turn that a bit more. And that one's done. So that's my left hand side. This is my right hand side. So now I'm going to put my words on the inside. Let's put that on the block a bit better than that. Well, that's a really good one, wasn't it? That's lovely, look at that. And while I've got that there, I'm going to just do my tag for the front of the card, which says Merry Christmas. I think I need to re-ink my cherry cobbler by the looks. I think it's getting a little bit light. So that'll be my next job. Okay, so that's all our stamping done. Oh, pop that one out of the way. Let's pop these in and do this first. I'll give them a little bit longer to dry. And remember, when we pop these in, I'll always like, if I turn it up the other way, I can see whether I've got it in the right way and not cutting off any of the words. So I'm going to be cutting off a little bit, so I'll pop that way. So I didn't want to pop off the words. Tiny bit that side. Oh, there we go. Put them in there. And then let's do this one. This one I don't need to worry about because there's nothing writing on it. So once we've got that stamp, that punching out of the way, the good part about doing this on the checking on the other side is making sure that you've got it lined up nice and straight as well. Okay, so we've got that done. Let's pop that out of the way. Let's pop them onto there. And we're going to glue these together to put on the inside of the card. Oops, let's get rid of my draft copy of my instructions. So you do know that the instructions come out on the same day. If you are part of my Facebook group, the tutorial comes out the same day as the YouTube video, exactly the same time at 8 AM South Australian time. Oops. So you will find the link down here for my Facebook group. So I hope that will help you. So while we're waiting for those to dry, we will glue all of these three pieces together now, so that we can assemble the whole thing together. I'm only going to do this around the edges of this one, because the other one is taking a bit longer to dry. Pop that. Oh, it's got to stick onto that one too. One. because it's a funny day today, I'm actually doing this at the end of November still, but it's spring until the 1st of December when it becomes summer, but it is really strange weather for this time of the year. And once again, if you have a pattern that has a direction on it, you do need to make sure that you have your direction all running the same way. Oops. Okay, so we've got all our pieces here. Let's get our card then, and we'll pop all our bits on the inside. So we know that the one with the writing on it is going to go onto the right hand side, and the other one's going to go on the left hand side. So let's pop those in first. Making sure that we had that up the correct way, which we did. So we can just give that a nice smoothing out like so. Alright, so with our panels here, we're going to pop these in to the centre. Now, we are going to pop them in so that they line up with a little bit of a gap between each one. Right? And with the little bit of a gap, with what we're going to do, so we've got one there, and we're going to turn it over, and with that, so that it's not right up against this score line here, with a little bit of grace. I'm just going to turn that over, and with a pencil, I'm just going to draw a line like so. So I know where to put my glue. Then I'm going to pop this one onto this one here, lining it up again, making sure it's nice and firm there, and we can give that a bit of a rub down. Now we're going to turn it the opposite way with the next one, and we're going to pop this one in here like so. So once we've got that where we want it, we're going to pick it up, turn it over, and just draw our line just underneath the, we can just move that back a tiny bit so that we know. And that's only just so that we know we don't glue to the other side. And then we're going to pop this back in. We're going to turn it back over like this, making sure we have it up the right way, and leaving that little bit of a gap there. You can see that gap there, and that little bit there so that it doesn't fold onto there. Lining this up so that they're level. Pop that one in. Once we've done that, we'll give that a nice wipe down too. And then we will do the last one, which is just here. So you can see that there's that gap again. So once we're happy with that, we're going to just do it once again. We're going to turn this over. You can do it from this side if you want, so that you know you've lined that up correctly. And then we're going to just draw our little line there, just underneath the edge of the card there, so that we know, and then that way you can pop your glue on here. Oops. And then pop this onto here. So this is just about flush with the top and the bottom, leaving that little bit of a gap there, and making sure that that's lined up nicely like so. We've got a little bit of glue showing, we can pop it off. That's it. And then we have our flip for the inside of the card. See that? Isn't that fantastic the way that flips like that? While that's just sitting there drying, we're going to glue our other pieces together. So we'll glue this one together, our little saying for the front of the card. Excuse me. Oops, that's not that. And I will put some, excuse me, come on, where are they? Would you believe I don't have any here? Only bits. Never mind, bits are good, are just as good for underneath there. Okay, so while that's sitting there for a minute, we'll do our flour, our poinsettia. So I'm going to just bring it on my sponge board here. This is a spongy board, and just give this a bit of to give it a bit of depth. We don't want too much because we want it to be able to lay flat into the envelope, but we do need it to be a little bit, just to give it a little bit more depth. Do our 3 pieces. Oops. Turn it over, just give it a thing like this. You can see it's just got a bit more oomph to it. Okay, glue, offset, glue, oops, offset, glue, our centerpiece, which I've done in gold glitter, and then we have our flowers, so we can now pop that back onto the board. Just give it a little bit of a push in the middle to give it a little bit of height. I'm going to pop this onto the front of the card like so, and I'm going to glue it down flat, or you know, like how you would. I'm not going to put it up on a dimensional. I'm just going to put it on flat like so. Oh, stay. That's because I've got a bit of glue on my fingers. There we go. And I have my 2 leaves. I'm going to pop one there. Yep. This is some glitter paper from a few years back, but I just thought it was really lovely. Oh, excuse me. I have got a frog in my throat this morning. He's not sticking there very well. Stick a bit better, you. It's going to take a little bit of time because it's on velvet, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to give that a bit of, just a push to make sure he's down there nicely. Okay, while that's setting, we'll pop this one on. Across the bottom here. And then we're going to add our gems. Wherever I've done with my pickup tool. I'm going to put some of these large ones on here. And that's our card. What do you think? I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I actually love the way it's turned out. I love the way it stands up, and it looks like a crisscross in the middle if you're holding it up like to that. But look at it from that angle. You've got all this beautiful, beautiful flapping in the middle, and that's our card. So this was my original one, and it's called an inside flip card. Inside flip, because those flip. So that's my card for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. It will probably be the last Christmas card I do. I think the last 2 projects, I've got a couple of birthday cards that I have to do for people, so I think it will be more like birthday for the other 2. So if you've enjoyed today's card, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my projects. If you would like to know more about getting the tutorial, if you haven't already joined my Facebook group, you'll find the link down below. The tutorial, the photos on my Facebook group, and the tutorial go live the same day, the same time as the video, the YouTube video for this. So, and then once I get during the day, I actually link the video in my tutorial section so that people can cross over from one to the other so that they can see how it's made. And it's one of those cards like you could do for any occasion, like this one. You warm my heart, and that's all I've put in it. And I've done flowers, and oh yeah, and I love those thermoses. They were actually beautiful, but they're finishing up at the end of December. So if you like those thermos, you need to get in smart, because the mini catalogue finishes on the, not sure what date, the 2nd of January, I think it is. And the new mini catalogue comes out on that date. And I've already seen a little bit of a peek of what's in the new catalogue, mini catalogue. And oh wow, there's some wows in there I love. So, but I can't show you much about that at the present time because I am bound by the rules from Stampin' Up, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.